today. We want to put out a round bale for the steers, drop a little bit more straw down for them. The heifer pen looks good. It's only about 10 degrees right now. I think it's supposed to get up to about 17 today, but then get back to down to 10 overnight and stay kind of cool like this all week. But you can see like the heifers, they're out here running around playing in it. And then you can see the steers, they're back over in the other field there. Just out exploring for the day. And the sun's out, it's not really too windy, but it's kind of brisk, so we'll get a round bale down to them. But it didn't take these guys long to dig in. This bale's been out here about 10 minutes. They're all eating on it. We'll have to keep an eye on them this week, just with the temperature and everything, because they may eat through this bale pretty quick. We'll have to put an additional one out. Went ahead and put a couple bales of straw there into the loafing pen for them. So they're all set up, ready to tackle this cold weather. Now I'm gonna head home so we can expand on the pen that the ewes are in, so they have more room for these bigger groups when they lamb. So what we're going to do now is expand the ewe pen, make it actually a little bit wider. It'll be the same length across the back side of the barn here. So I'm going to run a temporary fence or two gates right across the pen this way, locking them in that half, and we'll set the feeders up here behind me. Adjust it, let's feel better. So what we did is trapped them in over on this side when we set up these two feeders here, and then we just ran them through and then trapped them on this side while we finished setting up this area over here. So now we're going to combine everything together, let them all in one pen. I noticed yesterday that the oldest ewe that we have was favoring her rear left leg a little, kind of holding it up, limping a little bit, so I figured it was a good enough time when we had everybody clamped down in that smaller area to get a halter on her, tie her up, because she's not anywhere near halter broke or anything like that. She hates it. Just easy to catch her that way, tie her up, because she's one of the first that are due, so I didn't really want to do too much to her. I just wanted to see why she was limping. So I ended up cleaning out that hoof of hers, giving it a little trim, Didn't look too bad. It looks a little overgrown, and that's why I tried to trim off. But again, she could be doing about 10 days or so. So I didn't want to give too much stress on her, just get enough off. We did notice that she was walking a little bit better, so we'll keep an eye on her and see if she needs any more attention. So we got the new lambing pin set up, the U pin here. We got 16 feet of feeders now out front, and then we have that hay rack in the back also. So the feeders can take hay, and we have that. So they got 2 points to get hay. They got one area to be fed where they'll have plenty of room. The new pin is 16 by 20. That gives each ewe about 35 square feet. That'll make a big difference when they're lambing, because some of these ewes are bigger, and like industry standard of what I've read is about 20 square feet per ewe in our lambs. This will really give us a lot of room to work with when we're setting up the lambing jugs. So there's both our fence line feeders set up front. There's 16 foot there. The plan will be is to set the lambing jugs off of this gate out into the pen. They're 8 feet by 4 feet. Off this gate right here, so that way there's still 8 feet off the front of the feeder for them to get in. About probably 10 days, we have a couple of these ewes that could possibly do by then, so we'll keep an eye on them, but that'll give us plenty of room, like I said, to work down here, and then they'll have plenty of room here in the back to congregate, get to their feeder, get to the hay rack. We also went ahead and expanded this wooden pen here with the ewe lamb in it and the ewe. So it's a full 16 by 8 now, has access to that. We did that because if we had to get a ewe and her lamb separated off, there's plenty of room where we can just add them to this pen here with her. They're doing really good. She's pretty friendly to the other sheep, so it wouldn't really be that big of a deal to do that. That way they could be off on their side but still have access to that hay rack. So if you stand down here where the ewe and her lamb are, you can see our alleyway is a lot smaller, which really isn't that big of a deal. We knew it was going to be about 2 feet. We come in on this end with our wagon with the water and where all the hay and straw is. That end's just the man door, and all the feeds up there in those trash cans. That's where we store our feed. So it'll be nice to be able to get right there to their feeder, the ram's feeder, and then these Horn Dorset's feeders, and then just have to bring a little bit down for her. We don't really need much room, just enough to walk through. That gives the lambs plenty of room and ewes. And you can't feed out lambs in your alleyway, so we just sacrifice that, made it a little smaller so we could have more room in the pens. And we're okay with making the alley that tight, just because in about a month, a group of 4 of these Horn Dorsets should be going to the processor, and then I think it's a week or 2 after that, the next group of 4 will go, and then we'll come in on this end, clean out this pen, put down new bedding, and that's probably where we'll separate off the ewes and the lambs that have been born already into that pen area, and then leave the ones that are still due over in the big ewe pen. Well, making this ewe pen bigger is one thing we've really been wanting to do here lately. Just been pushing it off because it hasn't been our #1 priority. But with these ewes getting ready to start giving birth again in about 2 weeks, we figured we might as well get it done this weekend. With it being so cold, we didn't want to stress them out too much. So we were able to open it up, give them a lot more square footage per ewe, a lot more room to move around, and this will make it really nice whenever we start lambing again here in, like I said, the next 10 days or so. Well, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe.